Alrighty, good morning, good day, and good evening, wherever you are in this world. My name is Craig Whitney. I am the founder of Next Level Coaching and the Arte Method, and your host for the Legacy Forge podcast. Now, today I have a very, very special guest here with me. Her name's Nazia Hossain. She's the mindset and performance coach, and we have some technology. Are you still there with us there, Nazia? You
Yeah, hi.
That's all right.
Hello.
A little bit
Hi,
of tech things on
everyone.
the floor. That's
Hi,
part of the
Craig.
fun and games of video. So I have with me Nazia, who's a mindset and performance coach. She's the founder of Risewell Coaching and Consulting and co-founder and CTO of NazX. That's with a capital X Innovation. Welcome to the show, Nazia. How you doing today?
Yep. Thank you, Craig, for having me in your Legacy Forge podcast today. I'm doing very well. It's a sunny morning in Sydney here.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful.
pretty
And
doing.
today we are on our 21st episode of the Legacy Forge, which is a little bit of a mini milestone as we start 2026 on a high note. And we're going to be focusing today on clarity is the new currency, building careers as we shift into a new era of careers in 2026 with the emergence of tech, with the emergence of not just AI, but augmented AI and all the fun and games where traditional employment, the boundaries of it are starting to change, or they are changing.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people are successful and they talk about success, but quietly on the inside, on the heart, are exhausted.
Right.
As I said, we're going to focus
Mm-hmm.
today on building a career that just doesn't pay from the money stats, but lasts. Yeah. Now, Nazia, you've worked
Absolutely.
with global tech
Yeah.
giants
100%.
and now build companies and coach leaders. When did you realize success alone wasn't enough?
Yeah. So that's a great question, Craig. So I had this realization back in the beginning of 2025, actually, that when I was taking a lot of responsibilities in my corporate job, it was like I was working with one of the tech giants, right? And then I was leading big teams and technical teams, and the role was pretty interesting, but end of the day, like when I thought about, okay, what's the long term future this role is going to give me? And where do I want to see myself after 10 years or even after 5 years with the way technology is evolving and the world is reshaping, right? Sort of like I couldn't see myself there. And like I was like, okay, if I'm working in corporate and I'm like dedicating my 10 to 15 hours per day, um, earning, building something for the companies and generating revenues, then why not for myself? Why don't I build something on my own with the accumulated expertise that I have over 12 years, right? In tech, in business analysis, and in coaching, in leadership. So my pure background was in tech. I graduated from Bangladesh and it was like computer science and software engineering. And I worked there in a software company for 5 years. And then I migrated to Australia back in 2020. And then I joined Accenture and then I worked with Microsoft as well as part of Accenture being one of Microsoft's biggest vendors. So I was like, really, I wore different hats in my career, and it was very diverse. Like if you look at my career history, I started working in corporate world back when I was 19 years old, and it was my very first part-time job. in a telecommunication company in Bangladesh. And then from there, like I just had the vision to level up, right? And to see myself somewhere down the line in future where I lead with courage and build a legacy for myself and for the people I
Beautiful,
love,
beautiful,
like my
beautiful,
family. Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful.
So,
What was missing when things looked good on paper? You work hard and you come from a culture where opportunity is limited. Yeah, very,
mhm,
very limited. So when
mhm.
you're given something in the IT, and I
Yeah,
know that Central Asia area is the next IT hub. What was missing beyond the hard work?
right.
You wanted to work hard, you wanted something for your family, and I observe you got a little one there as well, you're bringing up in the world.
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
what was missing, would you believe, when things look good on paper?
So, yeah, when things looked good on paper, like the inner peace, and the clarity
Mm,
was missing for myself. That was the biggest part, that um I was kind of I had to turn and look inward and I had to look at my values and, you know,
mm,
the things that I'm really passionate about. And I found that, even though I was earning very good money, like the salary was very high, but end of the day, there was some sort of, hole. And I was like, kind of, okay, I just don't want to earn money, but I need more clarity actually where
mm,
I'm heading to and what I'm building because I want to build a legacy and something
mm.
sustainable and lasting, you know. So that's when the realization hit me. And then I started listening to people who I look up to, like Mel Robbins and other coaches and mentors. Jay Shetty, I'm a big fan of him as well, and other coaches like Tony Robbins as well, right? Steve Bartlett. And then when I like started listening to all these people, the realization was, if they can do it, then definitely at some point of time I can do it too. It's just to take the bold action and to step out of my comfort zone because it was a lot of inner battle for me because like I started working in corporate and then it was kind of
I bet.
very challenging for me to step out of my comfort zone to leave that corporate world, where I was working for almost 14, 15 years and then build everything from scratch and stepping into entrepreneurship. So it was a bit of a journey for me. But then, yeah, there's like a lot of realizations actually were there when I turned
Beautiful, beautiful,
inwards.
beautiful. You're certainly a person who's lived it and lived the problem, not just studied it from a book or a manual, yeah? So we talk about legacy, and the legacy for the whole theme of this
Yeah.
podcast is about identifying people's legacy, because part of my mission is to go deeper into the meaning. What is legacy? So what does your legacy mean
Hmm.
to you? What does legacy mean to you? Because quite often this word is often thrown around like a marketing term. You got to build a legacy, something you stand for. What does it mean to you? What's your does legacy mean to you?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, so that's a great question. To me, legacy means something which people will remember when I leave the world, right? Leaving something valuable for my son. Like I have a 10 years old and I want to build something valuable that not only rewards my child, but rewards the whole world. And then to me, legacy is to share the gifts to the world. Where I have seen a lot of challenges in my life, in early childhood and in my life with money. And I saw my family struggling with money. right? So I want to build something where people can be empowered to build something on their own and they just don't have to depend on someone
So
else,
what's your
you know?
highest value?
So
What's your highest
that's what
value? And
legacy
this will
means to
generally
me.
tie to your legacy. What's your highest value, may I ask? That you will not cross. You live it every and
Yeah,
breathe it
sure.
every day.
So like living with integrity and honesty. I never am going to compromise on that part. And also, like, after that, my family. I love my family. Like, it's all about the connections and the people I love who are in my life, my parents, my sister, my son,
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Integrity
everyone.
and honesty is certainly two values that are important in this world. Without them, we can't get very far. And to live it is more importantly. To live those values, to live and breathe, get it within the body, yeah?
Yeah,
They say get out of our head, of course. The body's felt whatever
right.
experience, say from whatever your childhood, journey coming up to this moment, your story, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that story
Mm-hmm.
is, your body has felt it to
Mm-hmm.
get to the present day. To get to that next level, the body's gonna have to feel those experiences to get to that next level. Now we have a choice. We
Yeah,
can either keep living from place of here, our past, or we can
right.
go, right, well, let's switch directions. Let's identify our highest values, which you've done, integrity and honesty. And I sense
Right.
you feel it within your bones, yeah, your heart, you know, and the importance of the family
Mm-hmm.
dynamic around that,
Mm-hmm.
which will take you to that next level. And given your journey that you've already experienced, you've got the experience, you've lived experience, no doubt you are that and you will go that next level quite easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, let's dig a little bit because
Yeah.
you've worked within
Yeah.
organizations like
Absolutely.
Microsoft and Accenture. What pressures do high performers currently carry? Switch gears a little bit here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So when I was in my leadership role back in like 2022 to 2025, working with Accenture, uh, I noticed like high performers, they are dealing with stress and burnout, and they are operating in a flight or fight mode, right? Which negatively impacts their health, their mood, how they show up in the world, how they show up in workplace. And that's a very common challenge. And then another thing I have noticed, they are very worried about future, like AI coming into picture and then a lot of layoffs happening all around. They're constantly like reflecting and asking questions like what's there for me in future down the line, how can I grow? And then also one important thing I realized that at some point of time people feel there is nothing for them to do after a certain point. Let's say mid-career professionals, they feel like now what, I have achieved this, i have I have reached a managerial position, I have reached this, right? And now I don't have to do anything. And they feel kind of very confused and stuck. So this, like I have heard over and over and over again from people, I feel stuck. What to do? How
So
can
what
I
I'm
proceed from
hearing
here?
there is they're feeling stuck because their identity, they're at a crossroads. Bring identity into the picture is
Mm-hmm.
when I've fully outgrown my role within an organization or a business. It comes from an identity, and this is where the term drift starts. Is when I feel stuck, I
True.
feel confused. My identity now no longer fits the role I've reached. I believe I've reached my potential in an organization. I've hit that manager. I've hit that CEO, CTO, CFO. Pick your favorite letters to match your position. what's next? I
Mhm.
don't know what's next. And if I don't clarify what's next, then I
Mhm.
start to drift. Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah. Why are
Yes.
capable and
Yeah.
intelligent people you believe are the most
Yeah.
vulnerable to burnout? Why are
Sorry, could
capable,
you come again,
intelligent
Craig?
people the most vulnerable to burnout?
I believe like it's all about the expectations they set for themselves and the expectation they set for others. And, it's kind of their ability to draw the boundary. There needs to be a healthy boundary as to what expectations they are setting for themselves and for others, how much they can do in a certain setting or atmosphere. And when they realize, okay, like there is a lack of boundary, and then they constantly need to do more and more and more. At some point of time, they feel that burnout and they face the challenge.
Focusing too much on the invisible tax of ambition corrodes
Right.
us. Burnout. What's your definition of burnout? Because that's another term that's kind of
Hmm.
loose these days.
Yeah. Yeah. So to me, burnout, because I also face burnout, right? And to me, it's like my body is literally telling me it's time to stop. You can't push yourself beyond that, and feeling inside that, no, this is not healthy for me at all. And like just unnecessarily getting stressed because when I think about burnout and stress, what makes us feel stressed is our thoughts and emotions and then how we act. And when we work in a high pressure, high performing environment, it's always like being in a flight and fight mode and achieve, achieve, achieve. And we give little credit to ourselves. And like it's all about, okay, today I have achieved this. Tomorrow there is another goal. The following day there is another goal, and there is no time for reflection. And it's that's what leads to
So we
burnout and
focus
stress.
on
Yeah.
the do, and I'll use a be do have model here just so it's easy for our listeners to digest. So we
Hmm.
focus as professionals on more doing, more do, high pressure, do, to
Yeah.
be in a state that our nervous system, our body doesn't want to be in a state. So in other words, we're not passionate on what we do. We don't want to be there naturally. Our nervous system is in a reactive state, high stress,
Hmm.
a lot of pressure
Hmm.
to have as a
Hmm.
consequence of underperforming
Hmm.
results. We're bored. We don't want to be
Right.
there. Yeah, would that sound correct? So
Hmm.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
burnout
Yeah.
has
Yeah. Absolutely.
many opinions or meanings.
People.
I've heard differently anyway. Burnout literally
Hmm.
is boredom.
Hmm.
You don't want to be there. If you ask any of your former workmates,
Yeah.
managers,
Yeah.
CTOs,
Yeah.
CFOs, do they want to be there? What would their response be? If yeah, that's a question.
Sorry, was that a question for me?
If
Yeah.
any of your former workmates, CFOs, or superiors within your organizations, if you ask them, would they want to be there in their role? What would their answer be?
Hmm. I mean, it really depends and varies from person to person. And I feel like if they're enjoying the role, then they would give me a different answer. But if they're not enjoying what
Mm,
they're doing, they would give me a different answer.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it really varies from person to person. Like I believe, right, that whatever we do, right, in our day to day, especially in our career, we need to enjoy the work We need to, kind of see the long-term value we are bringing to the organization and what value our role is bringing to the table. And oftentimes, if the clarity is missing there, if the communication is missing there, it leads to burnout as well because people lose
Mm.
interest, people lose the passion, people lose the,
And
you know,
yeah, yeah. Interest
interest
because we're
basically.
bored.
Yeah.
You'll find those that enjoy their roles a lot more will work harder,
Hmm.
will perform more, yeah. And naturally, of course, there's
Yeah.
physical burnout where your body just that's
Yeah.
from lack of rest and you just can't switch off. I admit I have that
Hmm.
challenge myself. I physically
Yeah.
struggle with an off switch. I just go, 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 go until my body naturally collapses
Hmm.
from physical burnout because I'm such an
Yeah.
intensive personality. I
Yeah.
love what I do to an extent that there's a consequence on my body.
Hmm.
And there's the mental burnout is where you continuously,
Right.
and you'll find this with professionals who don't enjoy what they do. They don't want to be there. Their whole demeanor and attitude is completely 180 the shift of, say, a company culture, and
Hmm.
they generally will burn out mentally a lot quicker than those that are physically enjoy being in the presence. Would that be true?
Hmm.
It's a bit of a long-winded question,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that's
100%.
cool. That's cool.
100%.
So burnout isn't a time management issue, it's an identity. If we focus on
Yeah.
people's identity, get to their highest purpose, work out who they are at core, then
Hmm.
navigating that burnout, would you say, would be a lot easier? We
Yeah.
shift, from tactics to reflection, yeah? Or
Yeah.
as one of
Sure.
my mentors says, we shift from the how, right?
Yeah.
The how to the why not. Yeah. Alrighty, well
Hmm.
done. Walk us through how
Yeah.
you help professionals move
Sure.
from overwhelm to clarity. What sort of tactics do you use there?
Um, so yeah, so I apply different approaches like in my coaching, like it's helping them understand their communication style. And also like I use NLP and then like I coach them regarding how to identify the root cause of the problem and then how they can work on their thoughts, and then thoughts and then actions and feeling as well, because this is all of a cycle. This all are correlated. And then I have my framework, which is like in my career clarity and growth accelerator framework. So it's a 12 weeks program where it's designed mainly for corporate professionals who are, you know, at a stage where they don't know what's next and they're lacking that clarity and confidence. So I use a different type of tools in my framework, in my coaching framework. And I also like help them with their emotional intelligence and to work on that, to understand other people and their opinions. Because oftentimes I realize that when people are feeling like they're not so confident about what they're doing and the next step they want to do, they want to step into, they are sort of confused. And why they're confused? Because they're like very afraid to take the next step, and like they are kind of stuck in a vicious cycle. So that's a trap. So yeah, basically in my coaching I integrate different types of techniques and try to bring it together for
So
my
where does NLP
clients.
fit and how do you keep it practical and not just fluffy? Yeah.
Yeah. So NLP, it's like, let's say it's like not only about visualization, but also about like taking aligned actions to what work we have done in our coaching. Because a lot of people like they practice NLP, a lot of coaches as well, but not are so effective. So I have like gone through some research and what works, what doesn't work. And it all comes from the experience. Like I have also worked with my coaches as well, and they taught NLP to me as well. And I've worked with some amazing coaches as well. So it's like really taking aligned actions because NLP is like about practice. And if we don't practice, it just doesn't work that way. It's about being
Exactly right.
consistent
And
with the
where do you
practicing.
think modeling comes into play with this? Because we all learn by seeing, doing, and applying, yeah, and then
Hmm.
teaching, right? Where do you think a model comes in? Yes.
Hmm. So the modeling, could you tell me more about it? Like
So
what
NLP is
exactly
about applied. Yeah, yeah.
is like the
NLP is about
modeling
applied
that we're
practice,
talking
yeah,
about here?
and we separate the fluff, what doesn't work, to the
Hmm.
practical skills, what does work. Being a
Hmm.
master trainer myself, being
Hmm.
certainly aware of what works
Hmm.
and what doesn't work. And we focus on the power of modeling because NLP historically was founded
Hmm.
on the power of modeling. Modeling a behavior, monkey see, monkey do, as the old parable
Hmm.
says. So, where do you think the power of modeling
Yeah,
fits in
right.
to your NLP work of applied application?
Hmm. Yeah, so it fits in where like so to me, what how do I relate it? It's like the different personality of the clients that I coach, and like coaching them with different approaches of NLP. Like because what am I coaching? Let's say I coach you today with something that may not work for the other person that I'm coaching tomorrow to another client.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
where
yeah.
the
Adaptive
modeling comes
modeling.
in. Yeah. So it's all about the personality and
Adaptive modeling. There's no such
yeah,
thing
yeah,
as a
yeah.
cookie cutter approach.
100%.
It's certainly adaptive modeling and being a model for your clients.
Mhm.
That's where it
Yeah.
comes down to modeling
Yeah.
behavior and being that example for
Yeah.
your clients. So it's the old adage of leadership, leaders first, they set the example, they are the
Mhm.
example. And NLP is basically, if you look at it through that
Yeah.
lens of leading, it's all about being the model, modeling what's possible, the art of possibility of change.
Mhm.
That's what we do
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
coaches, mentors, in our business life. NLP is wonderful. I get it. I'm a master
Right.
trainer myself. Robert Dilts has coached me on the last of my NLP and given that sort of edge, that modeling edge,
Mhm.
because he's gone down the success factor modeling himself. I'm a big component of modeling,
Right.
being the model for others to follow.
Mhm.
Right? It's like um,
That's
if I
great.
could put it in a
Yeah.
story sense, a son who follows his father. Right? The son will learn more as a young child by following dad
Mhm.
around, and learning skills, practical skills, than what the son will learn
Yeah.
in a classroom learning from theory, if that makes sense. That's the power of
Mhm.
very old school,
Mhm.
yet effective, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So how
Yeah.
do
Very simple and
mindset, emotional
effective.
intelligence, and communication actually change performance? You did mention a lot of emotional intelligence earlier too.
Yeah. Yeah. So mindset, emotional intelligence. I see all of this under one umbrella. Like if we can cultivate a positive mindset and we can work on our thoughts that impacts how we feel in a day-to-day basis, and then our feelings helps us to take actions that are more aligned with our goals. So that's where it all comes in, and it's over and over and over again we need to work on these fundamental factors, right, of our being. So yeah, mindset and emotional intelligence, and emotional intelligence is very important because if we don't work on our emotional intelligence, right, then we don't understand the other party, whoever it is, like in our workplace, in our family. So, in order for us to build stronger connections and bonds, we need to be emotionally intelligent to better understand the people surrounding us, better understand the people we work with. It could be our leaders, it could be our coworkers, it could be our
What
subordinates
is
in a
emotional
team,
intelligence in
whoever
your
it
field of
is.
work? What is it?
Yeah, so to me, emotional intelligence is understanding other people's emotions, and like it could be verbal and nonverbal cues, how they are showing up, right? And then it's like understanding where they are coming from and their thoughts, like their perspective, and be open minded, like as a person, and not to judge people basically based on what they're talking about or what they're telling, and really trying to focus and pay attention. And it's all about active listening.
That's right.
Very important, like when it comes to emotional intelligence, because if we don't do the active listening, we can't really understand where the other party is coming from. And being really present, right? Being really present in a conversation and not just bringing what we know, or because in coaching, it's like it's not our map, it's the client's map, right? Every client has their
Notice
different map
notice there's a theme there.
in their journey, and
Notice there's a
honoring
theme
that.
there. Be. Be present. Be. Be in a state.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
important to
yeah,
leaders,
yeah. Be
managers,
right. It's the be.
even fathers. Being. Total being in that state of openness
Yeah, for everyone.
to drop in
Yeah,
at a
yeah,
highly emotionally intelligent level to be able
yeah.
to, yeah, to drop in, not just understand, but
Hmm.
just be aware, aware of thoughts, feelings, actions,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah,
Takes a whole takes things to a whole new level.
yeah,
Those, with adaptive and high emotional
yeah.
intelligence, yeah?
So true.
It's a beautiful skill to learn. Daniel Goleman's the founder of it. Um, yeah, I love his work, and his
Yeah.
son's now carried on his
Mhm.
work with AI. Check out his work. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. As a CTO and
I
founder,
sure
how do you
will.
integrate people first leadership with tech?
Yeah. So, as a leader, I'm always empathetic, and I try to understand where people are coming from. And I strongly believe that in today's busy world, right, um, where everyone is so much attuned to the revenue and the money and how to grow the business. But if we don't really take care of our people who are working with us, and if we don't be there when they face challenging or tough times as leaders, definitely like it's it's detrimental to their health as well as not good for the business. Yeah, that's why it's so important. And I think it's very selfish to not think about the people who are working with us, who are working for us. So yeah,
Mm,
that's why I believe it's so important to not only think about the business, but to
certainly,
also
certainly
think
people
about the
first. And
people.
without people, we don't really have a business. Yeah. How do leaders, how do you, I
Yeah,
suppose,
yeah.
how do you create leaders with impact without sacrificing health or relationships?
So in terms of leadership, it's really important for a leader to first work on themselves and to work on the fundamental pillars of leadership, because leadership is not all about today you do this, tomorrow you do that, and the next day you do this. It's not only about it. So it's about integrating a lot of factors in a leadership role, right? Where again, like emotional intelligence, great communication skills, great collaboration skills, team building skills all comes into picture. And then of course, as a leader, we need to understand the business and where do we want to see ourselves and where do we want to take our business in next 5, 10 years. So yeah, to be a great leader, first we need to be a good listener. And then I think step by step we can advance
Exactly
in our
right. Exactly
leadership
right. And
journey.
legacy is all about looking beyond 5 and 10 years. 5 and 10 years gaps are certainly important milestones and steps. In regards to legacy, there's always an invitation for leaders to
Mm-hmm.
look at historical examples, like some of the Greek and Roman Stoics, Aristotle,
Mm-hmm.
Pythagoras, Seneca, just to name a few. I mean, their legacies have
Yeah.
stood in the sands of time for thousands upon thousands of years. Would you agree? Um, Marcus Aurelius is known
Yeah.
for,
Yeah. Yeah.
creating
Absolutely.
the human flame and passing it down. That 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 alone
Mm-hmm.
is the imprint and the DNA of legacy. And today's age with tech and businesses, the way we're going, we want to cement legacies that go the distance, maybe, maybe to the point of our ancestors, like Socrates and all those Stoics. Their knowledge have been passed down with time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have massive turnover these days of businesses. It's not like the
Yeah.
early 19th century where you had GE and Ford and all these
Mm-hmm.
organizations that are still around to this day have gone over 100 years. Businesses are failing faster, 2 to 3 within five
Yeah.
years. And 90, was it 98, 96 to
Yeah.
98% of businesses are gone. And it comes
Mhm.
back, one, to leadership and two, to legacy.
Yeah.
What's what's that highest? What's that highest value? As I've mentioned a lot in my teachings, is legacy isn't what
Mhm.
happens after you're gone. Yeah, it's what happens. It's what your work does to you
Mhm.
while you're here, to you as a leader, to you as a leader. You're constantly adapting. You're constantly changing. You're constantly
Yeah.
taking people up
Yeah.
with you. That legacy is constantly evolving. How do you
Right.
think Ford and Disney and some
Yeah.
of these,
Yeah. Yeah.
Microsoft and even
Mm.
Apple got to where they are today? They didn't stay the same. They evolved.
Yeah.
Their legacy consistently changed. And I
Yeah.
can see these organizations such
No.
as Apple and even Microsoft going next gen.
Yeah. Going big and next gen and then how they're
Yeah, yeah.
evolving,
Legacies,
right? Yeah.
empires that last go plus 100 years, and it comes back to the identity of the leaders. Yeah. So, just some quick rapid fire questions as we
Yeah.
sort of come to the pointy end of this episode. What belief about success
Sure.
would you like to dismantle?
That if we work towards our goal and if we constantly take actions, I think the video is
Video's
paused
paused.
for some
I'm
reason. I
still
don't
here.
know.
I can hear you.
Is it?
Your audio's coming through beautifully. Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, the video, I can see
your video's paused. Yeah,
my
just keep
picture is
going.
paused. Okay, I can continue. Yeah. So, success, like when we constantly work towards achieving our goals and
Nothing
take
is
aligned
impossible.
actions,
Okay, beautiful.
nothing is impossible.
Mm,
Nothing is impossible, and we can be successful.
beautiful.
Yeah,
And
nothing can stand
what's
in our
one
way.
habit every professional should stop normalizing?
So, every professional should start normalizing mindfulness and being conscious and being present in the moment and not always thinking about the future, like what's going to
Okay.
happen, what if things don't work and
Yep,
all
yep.
that,
Trust the journey. Trust
and
is
trusting the
huge.
journey.
What one question listeners should sit with this week?
Yeah. Uh, One question they can sit with is the actions that I'm taking today and the path that I'm walking, that the path that I'm in today, is it gonna take me to a place where I want to see
After 10
myself
years. Beautiful, beautiful.
after 10 years? Yeah,
Now, your work,
yeah.
you really stand for the next generation of combining tech and creating long-lasting, impactful careers in this ever-changing landscape of tech and business. What
Hmm.
changes when someone chooses clarity over constant
Yeah.
striving?
Everything falls into place, everything gets more aligned, and it's not only in their career, but in their life, in their interpersonal relationships. They like start knowing people, meeting people, like minded community who have similar thoughts like them, right? So everything changes and things become more clear around who they are, what do they want to achieve in life, and where do
Beautiful,
they want to
beautiful. So
go
where can people find you,
in
Nazia?
future. So if someone wants to work with me, I would love to help them in their journey so they can find me in my email address, which is growwithnazia@gmail.com. I can share with you in the chat. Or do you want to spell me
Just spell just
address? Yeah, it's grow with
beautiful.
WITHNAZIA at gmail
And do you
dot
have a
com.
website or can people find you on socials?
My website is still work in progress, but they can find me in socials. Like I'm there in LinkedIn, I'm there in Facebook. So yeah, I can share my
Certainly,
LinkedIn and
and
Facebook
all the
link to
socials and
you
all the links will be
afterwards.
in the show notes on the release of this episode, which would be great so people can just click and go to find you quite
Yeah,
easily. Yeah, beautiful. If success is costing you
awesome.
your health, your values, or your
Yeah,
presence,
wonderful.
the price is too high. Legacy is built when performance and purpose finally
Yeah.
align. It's been a great episode today, Nazia. Thank you very, very much for your time today. Despite the tech challenges we got through this episode, like and subscribe on Apple and Spotify and jump on my YouTube channel, the Legacy Forge podcast, for the video and also audio. Until next time, you still there, Nazia?
Yeah, I'm here, Craig. Thank you so much once again for having me here. It was a wonderful chat with you, and I look forward to see the things coming in our
Thank
journey.
you very much, Nazia. And until the next episode, talk to you later, guys. Bye for now.